Hey, yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Man in the Wild. Just checking out this video. Buddy of mine got me hip to about the boy in front of you, Umar. Dr. Umar Johnson. Talking this little shit about whatever he wants to talk about. And, because I done already broke him down a couple or a few times. And, I mean, he's confirmed as, being full of shit. Confirmed as being full of shit. So now, now that you have, other people, basically stepping into, to his realm and to his pockets, he's got something to say about some shit now. So I don't know. I'm gonna check this video out and kind of go where he goes with it, man, because he does kind of bounce around from topic to topic, but I mean that's the typical, what do you want to call it? Bullshit spin. You touch as many different types of things that you can, where it's kind of confirmed that you're not wrong in certain ways, but the fact that you're full of shit, just throws everything out the window for me. Because he does say decent things about certain topics, but he never actually attacks, the real foundation of what the problems are, with the quote unquote black community. As I've said in a couple of my other videos, as far as that black shit, that shit is dead to me, man, because it's a label that was given to you by people who are meant to oppress you behind the label of black. And if you're not attacking that shit within it, man, you ain't got shit for me. You ain't got shit to tell me. You trying to have me live within it? You're full of shit. Especially when, how deep he goes within it as far as the African connection and all of that type of shit. Like, no, we are the fucking natives of this land. Nothing against Africa and all of this other stuff. Of course, things originated from, where they came from and all of that type of shit. But man, the travel from Africa to all the different continents and all of that has been done. So there's no direct connection with the African people. They're their own people. We're our own people. Since this nigga's so deep and so knowledgeable and so this and so that, he ain't even touching on that. Yo, you full of shit. So, I don't know. We're going to check out this Umar video where this nigga's kind of in his feelings.
I'm not here to knock anybody's hustle because... Oh, no. Now, let me say this, because I've been getting questions about these black male life coaches, these uncredentialed, uncertified, untrained, YouTubian black male life coaches.
All right, so here you go, with the untrained, YouTubian life coaches. Like just out the gate, you throwing some type of shade. Out the gate, you throwing some type of shade because, of course, Dr. Umar, always wants to run down his credentials and all of that type of shit. But, from my perspective, knowledge comes from where it comes from. I'm saying? If somebody's speaking some real shit, they speaking some real shit. I don't give a fuck about their title. I don't give a fuck about what they look like. I don't give a fuck about none of that type of stuff. The truth is the truth. Bullshit is bullshit. Give a fuck about how many damn documents you got hanging up on your wall saying that you graduated from this, graduated from that. If you're full of shit, you're full of shit. Fuck out of here, Umar. Not here to knock. Hold on. Hold on. I'm not here to knock nobody. I don't want to hear that again.
These uncredentialed, uncertified, untrained, YouTubian black male life coaches. I'm not here to knock nobody.
Yo, like that right there lets you know that he's full of shit. That lets you know right there that he's full of complete shit, because you're going to sit here and say, you know, all of these uncredentialed YouTubians and all of that. I mean, that label right there is disrespectful. You know, 100% you trying to throw some type of shade. You trying to be a dickhead to these people. But then you're going to say, I ain't trying to knock nobody. In the next breath, get the fuck out of my face, Umar. You're full of shit and people need to stop fucking with you. For real.
I don't know how anybody feeds their children. I don't know how they keep a roof over their head. I don't know how they keep food in their body. I'm not here to knock anybody.
Go ahead and give us that one-eye symbol type shit, man. Because you're full of symbolism, my nigga. Full of symbolism. It took you that much to, like, how big of a scratch was that on your eye? A little itch on your eye. Fuck out of here.
I'm not here to knock anybody's hustle because I don't know how they feed their children.
Code of silence. The fuck out of here.
I've had people try to destroy my professional career as a certified school psychologist, my professional career as a clinician and a therapist. I've had people try to destroy that because they didn't agree with my political platform. I've had people try to destroy that. So I will never attack another black man's ability to feed his family. Even with the gangster rappers, I will not attack their ability to feed their family. But I do want to say this to the black women out there. I'm disappointed in a lot of my sisters. I am disappointed in a lot of black women because I thought that our sisterhood was evolving to a place that would not tolerate
Like, what the fuck was you speaking in Morse code? Like, yo, really pay attention to when this nigga talks, man, because I mean, he is trained, you know, with understanding how the mind works. You understand? And that's a very dangerous motherfucker when he's full of shit. You know what I'm saying? 100%. You know, and then right now, what he's going at is, because this whole video is about Kevin Samuels. You know, the buddy that be coming at, you know, the bullshit ass logic that, you know, a lot of the females that I'm really seeing that they have, you know, to the point where it's answering a lot of questions, you know, as to the direction of this society. You know, because, you know, whether you agree with him or not, you know, just because I've seen probably maybe 10 of his videos. And in each one of them, I mean, he makes extremely valid points because you have women that that have high demands that really don't need to have those type of thoughts. You know, an example being, you know, one video I seen, there was one where the girl said that it was offensive to be told, you know, hey, won't you smile a little bit? You know, because she's been told that she's unapproachable. You know, so, you know, it got broken down to the point where it's like, damn, you can't even give a black man a smile. What does he now owe you? What does he owe you then at this point? If he can't even get a fucking smile. You know, that's the breakdown, you know, that's the breakdown of, you know, the type of mentality, you know, that we're dealing with when it comes to, you know, just the simple dating or just the simple interactions on a day-to-day basis. You know, and then like I said, when it comes to what's true, what's real, what's not, and all of that type of shit, man, I mean, you know, the buddy Kevin Samuels, he's coming with a lot of harsh realities. You know, and like I said, I ain't watched all of his shit, paid attention to all of it, but from what I've seen, I mean, he's not really missing like that. You know, but now what he's done is he's brought Umar out, smoked this nigga out, you know, because, you know, as my man made a good point, you know, he's hitting this nigga's pockets. You know, because the black woman is a huge part of Umar's demographic, a part of his hustle. You know, with this damn schooling and all of this other shit he about to talk about here in this bullshit. Like, yo, this dude, Umar, man, when it comes to the growth and development of people, you know, especially the quote unquote black people, like I said, the whole shit, the label is fucked up. But when it comes to our growth and sustaining the economics and all of that type of shit. Like the certain points that he has as far as how it's fucked up is very real. Understand? But since he wants you to fall under that label and fall under the plans of the oppressor, because I mean shit, he's a controlled opposition. So he's gonna make sure that motherfuckers stay in line with the oppression. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And since, the buddy Kevin Samuels is perceived at this point that he really is, trying to get to the root cause of certain shit. Another female caller hit him up talking about some, she deserved the highest, quality and all of this, but I mean, has no ambition of her own. That type of shit, that type of mentality is toxic. You understand? And that shit is being exposed like a motherfucker. But yet this nigga Umar has a problem with it? What's that let you know? This nigga toxic too.
Sisterhood was evolving to a place that would not tolerate slander and degradation of black women on any level for any reason. I thought, black sisters, that you guys were getting to a place, you sisters, you queens, my beautiful black goddesses. I thought you all were evolving to a place where you would not approve of Eurocentric slander.
See, here we go with this slander shit, right? Okay, now he's sitting there talking about slander. Yo, to my knowledge, slander is something that, gets said about you, that's not true. When somebody invents a lie about you to put you down, that's not true. All of this shit that he's trying to attack is true. You know what I'm saying? It's real. You got these people who don't really value other people. All they do is use other people. And that's what this society has been converted to. Users and abusers, and that's who effectively wins because of the different types of levels of the users and abusers and how much protection that they have through the system. Through the system. And by him sitting here trying to, defend the, what do you want to call it? He's trying to defend the opposition of what's real. Like, he's really not trying to get to the root of what is and what ain't. He's trying to bring you back to under his control type shit, basically on some narc shit. Because keeping it 100, man, he acts like a fucking narcissist, period. And that term gets thrown out a lot. And, I did a little video before about, talking about the narcissism shit. But I mean, but that shit is very rampant right now and is becoming exposed, because, I mean, narcissism basically runs our society. Albeit unaware or aware, this motherfucker's a narcissist. And if he doesn't have control over the situation, it's like he don't know what to do. It's like, bro, if a nigga talks opposite of what you talk, why the fuck do you need to talk about him? Just keep talking about what you talking about and build what you got to build. You understand? Period. That's all you got to do. And whenever somebody does happen to mention you type shit, like, yo, all they're speaking is what's real. So how the fuck you gonna be mad about shit? Unless you are, either that dumb, you know what I'm saying, or that you're full of shit, so you got to come back and try to counteract, that little antidote. Because motherfuckers been given a dose of the truth, so you got to come back with this antidote for the bullshit. Man, this motherfucker, I mean, it's just crazy.
Degradation and debasement and undue attacks on your integrity thirst for male validation entertain some of these Negroes who have no history of organizing in the black community. They have no history of fighting for our children. They have no activism resume at all.
Yo, you want to talk about fighting for the community and all the organizing for the community? Yo, so if you got all of this history, right, organizing for this, doing that, why the fuck is shit still so fucked up the way it is if you doing so much positive shit? You understand? The fucked up mentality is the reason why motherfuckers is stepping up for this shit. You know what I'm saying? You sitting there pandering to this shit, to the bullshit. And it's funny, I don't think I'm gonna make it to the end of this video, you know, but like where he tries to call out the bullshit and call, you know, saying that they full of shit. And it's like the generalization of what he's doing right now is letting you know that he's not about the truth. You know, because all he's doing, like talking about you ain't trying to knock nobody hustle and all this shit, but all you're doing is knocking a fucking hustle at this point. You know what I'm saying? You ain't putting a name on it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't putting shit on it. All you're doing is saying something general and basically making yourself out to be, you know, some type of guardian. You know, when you're not, I mean, be specific, nigga. Who are you talking about? What are they really saying? You know, like I said, from what I've seen from the one that's on the label of this video, you know, because he said there's about 12 YouTubians, right? And I've only talked about one because that's the only one I've really seen like that. I don't know who the hell else he's talking about. You know, but from what I've seen, the mentality that's been fucked up our community and our society has been exposed. You know, period. You know, motherfuckers is full of shit, need to be talked to in a callous type of way. Period. What the fuck you gonna walk through holding somebody's hand and skipping with them and you know, hey, it's gonna be okay, trying to give them two goods and one bad type shit? Like, no, if you're full of shit, let them know they're full of shit. You need to change your thoughts. You need to change your pattern. You need to change your outlook. Your outlook is bullshit. You want to talk about validation for men and all of this other shit, man? They're not looking for that. And if they are, the shit gets crushed because the intentions of what's going on is always exposed. As is the case with fucking Umar all the time. Like yo, doing your video in your fucking gym. You're getting renovated gym. Where your workers at?
Why would you subject yourself to that level of insult? Why would you subject yourself to that level of degradation and undue criticism?
Undue?
From a complete stranger.
Bro, you a fucking stranger. Nobody know you like that. If they did, they'll run the fuck in the opposite direction as fast as possible.
Because you're looking for male validation. That's why we need the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy. See?
Oh, because you're not a male? You're not validating motherfuckers? Like, yo, understand and know when you see that somebody is full of shit. You know, and then once you see that they're full of shit, man, like I said, run as far as you can, as fast as you can, the other direction. You know, picking up everything you can along the way, man, because this dude ain't going to lead you to nothing but the slaughter.
This gym is fully restored. When this gym is fully restored, I'm going to offer some sisterhood circles. Dr. Umar is going to offer some sisterhood circles right inside of this gymnasium. I'm going to offer some sisterhood circles right inside this
Like, yo, like
gymnasium.
this nigga has turned, you know, his little beef that he got going on with these 12 YouTubians, you know, he's turned his beef into a fucking commercial. You know, for the school that he's been trying to raise money for all of this time. But, I mean, you rubbing elbows with motherfuckers that got bread. My thing is, why the fuck is it taking so long? You know, and the answer to that is because you're full of shit. You know, full of complete shit. You want to say that this person stopped you from this because of this, the political views and all? Get the fuck out of here, man. You falling right the fucking line with what the plan is. They have to control every aspect. And if you was somebody who was not under their control, best and believe you would be fucking muted. You would be muted. You understand? Not to say that you're not going to have people that fuck with you here and there, of course. You know what I'm saying? Of course. But the scale that you on, the scale that he's on, man, ain't no way he has any good intentions for the people. It's impossible. Fucking impossible. Please believe that.
Where I'm going to speak positivity and strength to our black women. I'm going to speak positivity. The sun has come out. Woo-hoo! Woo! Mama Oshun is here.
Fake ass nigga.
Mama Oshun is here. Orumila is here. Look at the sun. It just rained cats and dogs, and now look. The sun is shining on the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. The sun is shining. When we have our cookout, we're going to put a bunch of benches and tables out here for the cookout. We're going to have a lot of benches and tables right here in the Anna
Like, yo, that nigga clearly said bitches and tables. He ain't say benches, but my thing always is too, like, where the fuck is your construction workers at? You know what I'm saying? You got the building. Okay, cool. Best believe, you know what I'm saying, no matter how much money you got, you know, if you have a building and you got a network of motherfuckers that fuck with you, you're going to have people working on that damn thing 24/7. You know, bringing them damn construction lights out where how the workers be on the road and highways and shit late night. You're going to have a bunch of them out there and them niggas going to work until that motherfucker is done. Period. How the fuck is it only you on the campus, bro? How the fuck is it only you on the campus? Answer, you're full of shit.
Was Amy Garvey Park. We're going to have a lot of benches out here in the Anna Douglas and Amy Garvey Park, brothers and sisters. But I'm going to have a lot of...
Have a lot of bitches.
Campus. Thank you for helping me buy this for our children. This is going to be the center of black organizing in North America as soon as the renovations are done. But we're going to have some sisterhood circles. Dr. Umar is going to host some sisterhood circles where I can speak power and strength into black women.
See, and that's part of that narc shit too, man. That's part of that narc shit too, referring to yourself in the third person while you talking about, like, man, what he gonna do, what he gonna do. Like, but he's proven that all he does is fucking talk. You know, all he does is talk and then disrespect motherfuckers that can't give that much money. You know what I'm saying? Because to my knowledge, when you sitting there begging motherfuckers for money, you'll take anything that somebody can give you, because chances are that's all they can give you. You wouldn't disrespect your donors. You know, period. But that's who we're dealing with. Know when you're looking at somebody who's full of shit.
I'm going to speak power and strength. This is the Frederick Douglass High School you're looking at. I'm going to speak power and strength into our beautiful African sisters. That's right. I'm going to build you up. And what makes it so bad about these so-called life coaches, some of them actually regurgitate a lot of Dr. send me clips. People send me clips of some of these YouTubian opportunists, so-called life coaches, and
YouTubian opportunists while you doing a fucking video flashing your damn give me money signs. Because a motherfucker is dipping into your pockets. You know, and the motherfucker that's dipping into your pockets, you know, actually is making way more sense than you ever have. You know what I'm saying? Give a fuck about his background. You know, give a fuck about a title. Truth is truth. Bullshit is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You just a certified motherfucker that's full of shit. That's the only difference. You know what I'm saying? It's funny how you talk about these clips and you talk about what people done saying that's biting off of you. Nigga, say it with your chest. Stop with the cryptic shit. What the fuck is it? You understand? You're not gonna hear it because this shit don't exist.
I'm seeing some of them quote me verbatim without giving credit to their source. And some of them claim to not even like me, so why are you quoting my material and not referencing me? You obviously watch me. You obviously watch me because...
Like, who are you talking to, Umar? Like, really, who are you talking to? You understand? Like, that shit, it doesn't really, you know, like, put something up there. You know, because, like, okay, I'll give you an example. When somebody sits there and talks shit to me, you know, on one of my shits and I come back with a video response, you know, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and blot out their name. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't about to give you no shine on my shit. You know, but the video that it came from, your comment is still there. Anybody can go see that shit and know exactly who the fuck I'm talking to. I tag you in the shit to let you know, yeah, bro, I'm about to make a video about this. Go ahead and check it out. And I'll put a motherfucking link under the comment that me and this nigga was talking under. I'll put a link up there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what real does. What a bullshitter does is sit here like and do what Umar's doing. You gonna say this about me, you gonna do this about me, but who the fuck are you talking about? Who said what? Clear the air. But nah, bullshit artists don't clear the air because they need that smoke screen.
Too much of my material is coming out of your mouth. It's a whole group. There's at least 12. I think I've counted 12 different YouTubian beta male wannabe life coaches that are out there slandering black women, attacking black women, degrading black women. I count about a dozen. I'm going to call them the dirty dozen of division. The triple D, the dirty dozen of division. There's about 12 members of the dirty dozen of division, 12 beta males, YouTube life coaches, who are trying to build a platform by making black women feel bad. I don't like it.
Making black women feel bad, but like, for what though? Because if you're full of shit, if you on bullshit, you need to feel fucking bad. If you lying to people, taking advantage of people, undervaluing good people, yeah, you deserve to feel bad for that shit. The fuck? What are we even talking about here? That's just simple accountability that Umar is trying to let motherfuckers, help motherfuckers avoid. And again, it comes back to who loves to avoid accountability? Narcissists. Who's built up this society the way it is? Narcissist-minded motherfuckers that just want to create a whole bunch of people that ain't accountable for shit. You know what I'm saying? So the little dizzy spell just takes effect and it holds the fuck on until the end. Fuck out of here, Umar.
I can't appreciate black men trying to make $1 off of making black women feel bad. And unfortunately, our black
You hear this
women,
nigga?
some of them are so thirsty for validation that they're participating. They're participating in the attacks and slander against the That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable. No black woman.
Again, shit ain't slander if the shit's true. It's just not. No, it actually turns to facts. You understand? If somebody is on bullshit and you call them on their bullshit, that is not a slanderous statement. You understand? And then falls upon the person who is on the bullshit to fix what the fuck they on or expose themselves for who the fuck they really are. You know what I'm saying? Period. And that's all that we're dealing with right now. Is the motherfuckers actually holding people accountable for their dumbass thoughts, for their dumbass ways. Damn, this
Women should never subject herself, even for amusement. Even for amusement. Even for amusement, the black woman should never subject herself to another man's condemnation. And what makes the condemnation so ridiculous for me, it's mostly superficial. Most of the assessment is superficial, brothers and sisters. It's superficial. You weigh too much. You don't have the right body type.
And see, and here he goes with this. Okay, so now with the woman that he was talking about weighing too much, she was on the tip of, you know, she had got real big and then was trying to lose weight and then just basically said fuck it, but she's calling men mediocre. You're like, nah, you need to look at yourself. He told her, Kevin said, you need to look at yourself. Like, I mean, I ain't catch all of it, but the gist of it is, how you gonna sit here and call somebody else mediocre when you lower than that at this point because you're not giving a fuck? You know what I'm saying? Because best believe, if you big and stuff, okay, cool. But keep yourself together. That's all that was about. But Umar wants to just attack the superficial part of it. You understand? And when he talking about like the body type and all of that, because of shit, what the fuck these people want and what they desire and what they think that they deserve. I mean, it's not going to come to you unless you're a certain type. That's just life. That's literally life. And this man is actually being honest with people on some Simon Cowell shit. Like, man, how the motherfuckers act when he said, motherfucker, you can't sing? And it was the truth. Who the fuck told you could sing? It had to be your mom because you ain't shit. You know, so when it comes to, like I said, the whole accountability shit, like Umar doesn't have none for himself. So of course he ain't going to expect none of his followers to have no accountability for they fucked up shits, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Because in the end, like that black, white label shit, man, it takes away from what you need to do for yourself, what you need to do for others and all of that. It takes away from it because the label automatically puts you on some type of pedestal and all of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Just because a motherfucker's black and own a business don't mean that they're good people and that you should fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? And it goes all the way around the board and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? This nigga does nothing but perpetuate the bullshit.
You don't have enough education. You don't make enough money. This is European standards. This isn't African. That's not who we are. And black women are subjecting themselves for this because they want a black man so bad to publicly validate them. They're
like
taking
you.
a chance at being totally humiliated because they.
So what it is, what I see, man, he keep talking about this validation. What I see, what it is, this nigga just mad because somebody else, like I said, stepping on his stomping ground type shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't want them to find validation with somebody else. You want them to find it with you. You know what I'm saying? You want them to come to you for shit. You don't want nobody to come to nobody else for shit. You know, and that lets you know that a motherfucker is full of shit. You understand? Because best believe, me personally, I don't care who you watch on YouTube. You can watch anybody on YouTube talking about any type of topic. I don't care. Why? Because I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? I put my shit out there. You know what I'm saying? People fuck with it, they do. If they don't, they don't. But how the fuck, what does it look like me getting mad for you watching some other channels and all the other shit? Like, that's corny. And then to put some type of label on you because you want to do that, like that shit is weak as fuck. And he want to call these niggas beta males. Nigga, what's below a beta male, nigga? That's what you acting like.
Thirsty to have a black man publicly validate. That's why you're doing this, black woman. See, I want you to understand and overstand the same reason you go on these YouTubian beta male so-called life coaching platforms. The same reason you go on these YouTubian beta male so-called life coaching platforms is the same reason you stay in abusive relationships. It's the same reason black women stay in abusive relationships. It's the same reason black women stay. Why do black women stay?
And here you go with that repetitive shit, man. Notice that shit that he's always repeating shit. That's that psychological, that's that brainwash shit. You understand? When you sit here and try to hammer down a firm point that you think you making and all of this shit, like, yo, what the fuck does that have to do with that? Like that's the reason why they stay in abusive relationships. That has nothing to do with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Not on the level where the woman is right in the moment. You know, because like I said, I don't know how much I hit on it before, but yo, the mentality of certain females is extremely fucked up these days. You know, because of the conditioning that's been put upon them, you know, to where they think that they, you know, that they need this, need that. You know, when it's always trying to, reach for that glitter shit. You know, with no grounding whatsoever in reality. You know what I'm saying? That's part of the reason why motherfuckers stay in abusive relationships. That lack of grounding. That lack of accountability. You know, and not to say, and please believe, I'm not saying that everybody in abusive relationships is their fault. And I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is the root of why people do has a lot to do with the reaching for the glitter shit and not having a firm foundation of reality. You know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, you know, it ain't just females as victims of abusive relationships and all of that shit. And abusive ain't always physical. You know, but for him to hit on, like, he always likes to hit on certain key phrases and little shit that's going to trigger people, you know, within the magics. You know, because that's how his type operates.
In a relationship where she's being exploited sexually, emotionally, or financially. Why doesn't the black woman leave? Talk to me, black women. We're talking about the unconscious psychology of abuse of our sisters. We're talking about the unconscious psychology of why black women would rather stay.
Yeah, the unconscious psychology is you dealing with a fucking narcissist. That's the unconscious psychology that people don't really hit on. You know what I'm saying? And when you're dealing with a narcissist-minded motherfucker, you're not going to get to any type of resolution dealing with them. Case in point with motherfucking Umar. You know, and it's like, and whenever you see, you know, you hear about, you know, people getting, you know, jammed up in this, jammed up in that, and the different, on a different advice, you know, that's given to people. You know, narcissism, as I found, is not really talked about. It's not really discussed. It's not really brought to the table, you know, because there's a lack of understanding about the shit. You know, a total lack of understanding. And I mean, and the more you understand it, the better you'll understand what the fuck the society, like how it's just like a bottomless hole of bullshit. You know, and there's really no other way to put that.
Because a lot of black women feel that if a man does not validate me, I'm not good enough as a woman. And some of our sisters' self-esteem are so low that they will stay with any man just to feel like a woman. That's where this comes from, black women. That's why I'm working on my For Sisters Only relationships and dating book right now. That's why I'm working on my For Sisters Only relationships and dating book right now, because I want you sisters to understand what makes you get on YouTube and let a man destroy you like that. What makes you get on YouTube and reveal your private business to an absolute stranger?
Yo, what makes a motherfucker give you money and get yelled at for not giving as much as they did? Huh? What makes a motherfucker give you anything, right? When you sitting there talking about you getting this, talking about you getting that, and ain't got shit to show for it. You know, because to my understanding, you know, if you getting money for shit and they keep throwing you to the side, you know, they keep saying, oh, the white man ain't letting me get this, ain't letting me get that. Okay, but the money should still be piling up. You understand? So once the shit really does go down, you should hit the ground running once you get it. You know, but from what I'm seeing, look at that boarded up shit. You know what I'm saying? What he had, like a ladder and a couple little tools and shit in the gym. Talking about you trying to renovate this, renovate that. Like, man, get all the way the fuck out of here. Umar.
What makes you get into a relationship and let a man walk all over you? This is that fatherlessness. This is that fatherless little girl inside of you that cries out for validation by any means necessary. This is the abused little girl inside of you whose father wasn't there to pour love and pour strength and pour abundance into your soul. And now you're running around looking for validation, and you will let the most unqualified and uncertified. You will let the most unqualified and uncertified. You will let the most unqualified and uncertified.
See, here you go with that bullshit.
Tear you apart.
Here you go with that bullshit. Hitting your little catchphrases and shit, and you trying to jam home the little trigger shit, unqualified, uncertified. Like, yo, like I said, certified or not, full of shit, full of shit. Title or not, full of shit. Period. You know, so if he, like, I mean, it's like, if you in your feelings like this about what's going on, I said, you don't give a fuck about the people. All you care about is if the people fuck with you. You don't care about the people, bro.
In front of your peers, because you just hoping that one time you will get publicly validated. And you think that if you get publicly validated, if you think that you get publicly validated, you might feel better about yourself. And I'm here to tell you that the mind loves to play tricks on you. Your mind loves to play tricks on you. That's right. Your mind wants you to think that if you can get one of these YouTubian beta males to validate you publicly, your self-esteem will go up. But it won't. These are the games the unconscious plays on your mind, black woman. These are the games that your unconscious...
Yeah, how dare people, you know what I'm saying, tell you to look at yourself, right? How dare somebody tell you to look at yourself to try to change what you do, you know, to get a different result? How dare they? You know what I'm saying? How dare somebody try to hold you firmly accountable for whatever bullshit you on? Oh my God, like the audacity of that motherfucker, right? You know what I'm saying? But here you go. You know what I'm saying? Going back and forth on you. Like, man, this nigga goes so many different places in his mind and what he says and does. It's like, man, why the fuck are we taking this nigga seriously still? It's 2021. 2021, we was in motherfucking lockdown and shit where you ain't have nothing to do but watch shit like this and you know what I'm saying, get as much of your mind exercise as possible. Why are we still fucking with this nigga in 2021? And that's a real question.
Plays on your mind, black woman. Don't let your mind play games on you. Don't let that little girl inside of you who was victimized as a child. Don't let that little girl inside of you that was victimized by your first husband. Don't let that little girl inside of you that was sexually assaulted or physically assaulted by her mother's boyfriend. Don't let the pain of that little girl.
See, like right now, like, yo, this nigga's, okay, you getting on my fucking nerves, like, seriously at this point. Because, like, bro, why the fuck are you bringing up all of this type of trauma shit? That's that heartstring play. 100% heartstring play. You understand? Because anybody that has gone through something like that, right? Now, let's just say, for the sake of argument, there's somebody who did go through, you know, the abuse of some type of physical, mental, you know, from a man growing up and all of that type, right? Let's say that she does go through that. And then she goes along, but she becomes a user and a manipulator, right? So now at this point, with what he's saying is that she is a true victim, even though she's a user and a manipulator, because we all make our decisions in life. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I grew up with some form of abuse, but shit, that ain't make me turn into that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Having struggles like a motherfucker as a kid that I didn't have to have, you know, on that emotional shit, but I didn't turn into somebody who was evil and wanted to torture other people because of what I went through. You know, not to say I'm up there, just to say it to make a point. He's sitting there talking about all of this stuff, trying to trigger this trauma and basically letting people know that they don't have to be accountable for their own shit. That's what that's basically doing. Because you went through something, you can be a dickhead. It's basically what that's saying, because the other end of what he's attacking right now is telling people they need to be accountable for their shit. You need to look at you and change you. You know, whether that is healing, though. It is what it is. This society has been has so much lack of accountability, it's disgusting. You know, always ready to pass the buck, you know, have scapegoats lined the fuck up, you know, and it ain't never your fault. Well, as a black woman, all these niggas ain't shit and all of this other stuff. No, the niggas you choose ain't shit, number one. You know what I'm saying? But number two, look at yourself. What are you? Like, really, what are you? And if you can't look at yourself and find any flaws that you need to fix, you're full of shit. Everybody has them. Whether they be minor, whether they be major, everybody has flaws. You know what I'm saying? And if shit goes fucked up, there's a reason that you can look within yourself and find the solution to try to make things better, period. You know, and here we got this certified professional, you know, trying to have motherfuckers run away from it.
Don't let the pain of your inner child, black woman, don't let the inner child run your life. See, black woman, I want you to
now don't let it run your life.
You read for Sisters Only book, you're going to learn about that little girl that every black woman got living inside of her. And that little girl is scarred and hurt. All of what you've been through as a little girl, all the sexual molestations you've been through as a little girl, the sexual abuse and exploitations you've been through as a little girl, the relationships you've been in that did not.
See, like, he's sitting there trying to act like every black woman done went through something, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like the audience that he's targeting at this point, you know what I'm saying, is very clear. And it's very exploitive. Like, he's exploiting the shit out of it just by exploiting what he's talking about now. Like, yo, understand that narc shit, man. This motherfucker projects like a motherfucker. Pete, whenever he talks about people and what they do and what's wrong with them, he's talking about what the fuck is wrong with himself. That projection game is real, man. Pay attention to that and look that shit up.
Outright. That little girl in you is trying to heal, but she doesn't know how to heal, so she's motivating you to get involved in dysfunctional relationships and dysfunctional situations to get your unmet needs met. That's right. When you find yourself going on these YouTube platforms to let uncredentialed, uncertified people, when you go on these YouTube platforms to let uncredentialed strangers evaluate you, that's the little girl in you. That's the little girl in you crying out for validation. And I'm telling you, sister, if your father is still alive, if your father figure is still alive, if your uncle or grandfather is still alive, if you have a pastor who ain't trying to get in your panties, if you have a pastor who ain't trying to get in your panties, you can have a conversation with a man who doesn't have a sexual interest in you. You can have a conversation with a man who doesn't have a sexual interest in you to help get those unmet needs. See, every woman in the world, but we're talking about our queens. Every woman in the world, but we're talking about our queens. Every woman in the world needs a man who loves her without any interest of sexual intercourse. Listen to me well, black woman. In order for you to be healthy,
like, yo, how the fuck did we get here? How the fuck did we really get here? Like, first you talking about these YouTubians and uncredentialed and all this other shit, but now you need to go talk to people that aren't credentialed. Like, yo, where the fuck are you going, Umar? You're everywhere. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So you say these YouTubians is trying to fuck all these chicks that they giving advice to? I mean, that's basically what you're saying. But again, it comes back to this projection shit, nigga. Nah, you trying to fuck everybody that you fuck with. Because that's what's on your mind. I said the projection game is real.
You have to have a man you can go to and get emotional healing and support. And that man is so secure in his manhood and so in control of his hormones and his root chakra. See, black men, we got to get our root chakras under control. The black man has to get his root chakra. Black men, the reason why some of us are so hypersexual is our root chakra is out of control. We have to get our root chakras.
Yo, why this nigga thrusting every time he talk about the root chakra, though? Yo, you see the motion of the phone whenever he talk about the root chakra? Like, he thrusting when he talking that shit. You know what I'm saying? Sitting there giving you advice, telling you what you need to do when it look like he clearly ain't got the shit under control. This nigga can't even talk without getting that root chakra on it. Like, really?
If we really want to serve the black sisterhood, I'm going to say it again. We got to get our root chakras under control so that we can be of better use to our women. Because every black woman needs a man that she can depend on for emotional support that doesn't lead to sexual abuse. And I'm using sexual abuse in the general sense, not having sexually raped or anything, but having sex with a woman who really don't need sex can be a form of sexual abuse. Having sex with a woman who really don't need sex, who's looking for love, that can be considered a form of sexual abuse, brothers and sisters. And so black men have to get our root chakras under control so when sisters come to us, we can say to ourselves, not to her, this is a beautiful sister, but she don't need me for that. She don't need me for that. She need me to be a man right now. She needs me to be a non-sexual man. She needs masculine energy that does not have any sexual agenda tied to it. Women often need masculine love and emotion that doesn't have any physical intimacy tied to it. And I'm going to say this to all the black men listening. I'm going to say this to all the black men listening. I'm going to say this to all the black men listening.
What the fuck are you going to say? What the fuck are you going to say? It's going to play here in a sec, but I know it's going to be some bullshit. Because how the fuck did we get here? You know what I'm saying? How the fuck did we get here? You sitting here talking about this man don't need sexual. Like I said, man, who are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Because if somebody is out there, you know, and they're, you know, giving females advice like your Action Jackson nigga, you know what I'm saying, on that bullshit, he needs to be called out by name. You know, period. You know, if you got people that are being, you know, approached, you know, on that spiritual type level to where they just need guidance, you know what I'm saying? Because like he's not saying anything wrong when it comes to that masculine energy that females need. You know what I'm saying? He's not wrong when he says that shit. You know, however, you know, the mind from which he's speaking is full of shit. You know, complete shit. You know, so for him to, you know, start this off by talking about YouTubians giving the wrong, this, wrong, that, uncredentialed and all of this shit, to go from that to this, he's not trying to get to the bottom of shit at this point. This nigga's just trying to stay relevant.
Until you are strong enough to love a woman without sticking your Shango stick, until you can say, Dr. Umar, I know some women who are beautiful and got a lot going for them. But because I know I don't really mean them no good, or because I know they really looking for a husband right now and not just a friend, or because I know I have enough women on my rotation as it is, because I know I have enough queens in my queendom, although I would love to experience this system.
So he just said enough women in his rotation and enough queens in the queendom. So, I mean, what is he really referring to? I really hope he's referring to, you know, a man with multiple wives. Like, my benefit of the doubt side is really hoping that that's what he's talking about. You understand? Because, but it kind of can't be, because if he has, if he's talking about a man that has multiple wives and taking care of them, you know, he wouldn't be trying to think about dipping into somebody who's not his wife. Like, yo, Umar is full of shit. Please see it.
I'm going to be a real alpha male today. I'm going to be a real alpha male today, and I am not going to let that system, other male, I'm going to let her know, sister, I'm not going to sleep with you. You're beautiful, you're drop dead gorgeous, but I know you're looking for more. And because I know you're looking for more, I'm never going to touch you. We are never going to go there. I'm going to be the man you can come to when you need to have a conversation about other men. I'm going to be the man you can come to and get a hug, a real tight hug, and it not lead to nothing else. Black men, part of being masculine is being able to turn that root chakra down, turn down that root chakra energy, and just be a brother to a sister. In order to be an alpha male, in my definition, part of being an alpha male, part of being an alpha male is being emotionally available to black women in need of positive masculinity without it leading to a sexual escapade. Part of being an alpha male, in my definition, part of being an alpha male, in my definition, is being emotionally available to a woman
Yo, and that lets you know that this nigga's full of shit. He can't even fucking edit his videos right to where he ain't sounding like the broken record type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, to my knowledge, you know, and what I do, you know, this shit just takes one take. You know, when you speaking what's real, when you speaking what's, you know, what is and what ain't, you know, and getting shit off your chest and all of that stuff, you don't need to edit your shit like that. You know, but you done seen his shit cut off and on a whole bunch of times. You know what I'm saying? Coming back to this, coming back to that, like, and repeating shit and all. Man, that's, like I said, that's part of that brainwashing shit. You know, no good intentions coming from this nigga, man.
Allowing the relationship to descend into an empty sexual escapade. That's where we got to get black men. America has made us hypersexual. America has made us too hypersexual. America has made us as black men.
Oh my God.
I'm talking to my brothers. America has made us hypersexual. And ever since slavery, 400 years, the black man has been trained to sexually objectify the black woman. For 400 years, the black man has been trained by the slave master to sexually objectify the black woman's body and the black woman herself. For some
Yo, he needs to elaborate on that. I'm gonna have to get some elaboration on that because I guess by, you know, the slave master treating the black woman, you know, like the object, you know, making him, it would essentially make the slave do the same thing, but that shit don't make sense psychologically because you would actually, if you have any type of heart and empathy, you would, you know, respect her more and respect the situation more, you know, and move about like that. You know, I agree that the hypersexualization of this country is real. You know what I'm saying? Where, you know, we are taught, you know, we have been taught, you know, to, you know, basically poke anything that moves, and then be gone, you know, as soon as you're done. You know, but at the same time, it just comes back to this: how the fuck did we get here? You know what I'm saying? How the fuck did we get here? Like, it's that trigger shit, misdirection shit, getting you off of the topic of this is supposed to be, because he's supposed to be talking about the YouTubians, the uncredentialed YouTubians. But now you turned it into this. Like, nigga, you should have just made a video about this without bringing up anybody else. Unless you're going to call them out by name and unless you're going to call them out for exactly what they're doing. Oh, this shit is crazy.
The black woman is nothing more than an object of sexual satisfaction. For many of us, the black woman is nothing more than an object of sexual satisfaction that comes from the slave empire. That is part of post-traumatic slavery.
Man, that shit came before that shit, man. That shit has been around since. Since fucking has been around, that shit has been that. You know what I'm saying? Because guaranteed the first whorehouse didn't start during slavery. Guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? Like all the historical orgies and all of that shit. Get the fuck out of my face, Umar. You trying to trigger motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Because of that trauma bond that we got emotionally with certain shit. Like you know how to hit them certain buttons and all of that to get a motherfucker to get on your side. You know, because like I said, he said some good shit. You say some good shit here and there. You know, some shit that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? But overall, everything is just flawed. Because you're full of shit. Control opposition.
If you are a black man and the main worth of a woman to you is her sexual abilities, post-traumatic slavery disease. Now, don't get me wrong. Black women are gorgeous. I love 5'5" picking the dots. I love a curvy, conscious, intelligent, and throw down in the kitchen black woman. Oh, yes, I love a beautiful black woman. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, yes, I do. I am a man with the urges and instincts of any other African man. But at the same time, the God in me, the deity in me, the divine in me dictates that I control that root chakra and control those natural urges towards reproduction when I see a sister who needs more than that. And a true alpha male can say, you know what? Not this time. Not this time. Not under these circumstances. I'm going to be a source of masculine support for this black woman, no matter how beautiful and single she is, and I'm not going to let it turn into a useless sexual escapade where she goes home feeling used and abused. I'm not talking about a sister who is only interested in having a friend. That's different. If a sister just wants a friend and she's cool with that, I'm not talking about that.
Of course you're not.
I'm talking about sisters who you know are thirsty for a husband, thirsty for a meaningful relationship, thirsty for a long-term relationship, and you are not the one to give it to her. Can you just stand by her as a brother? Can you be the shoulder she needs to cry on once in a while? Can you be the brother?
See, like, and it's like you trying to be something you're not at this point, bro. Like, you trying to be something you're not at this point because, like I say, you losing the grip. You know what I'm saying? You losing the grip on your demographic. You know, and so now you scrambling basically because this seems like some scramble shit. You know what I'm saying? 100% scramble shit. Put a name on the shit, Umar. You want to talk about alpha male, beta male, and all of this shit. Like, from what I seen, one of the betas you talking about called you by fucking name. Called you by name, imitating your voice and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But here you go with this passive aggressive bullshit, man. That's some whole shit.
That gives a hug once in a while. See, the reason why some of the coons in the chat, the reason why some of the beta males in the chat can't understand what I'm talking about. The reason why some of you beta males in the chat can't understand what I'm talking about is you have been mentored by beta males who have positioned the black woman as their enemy. You have been mentored by beta males who have raised you to believe the black woman is your problem. I had a beta male say earlier, Dr. Umar, black women been in charge of the black community for 60 years. No, she hasn't. The white man, has been in charge of the black community for 400 years. The black woman is only a manager of the black community. And the only reason why she is a manager of the black community is because the war against black men, which is waged by the white man, is sending us to the prison and to the cemetery. So the black woman had to step in and assume that role. The black woman don't want to be the damn alpha male in your house. The black woman don't want to be going crazy raising your children. The black woman don't want to be crazy teaching her daughter about sex and dating and pregnancy and birth control and STDs. Do you really think the black woman wouldn't rather be doing something else? Do you really think she want to be working 2 and 3 jobs to get the bills paid because your ass is locked up or dead? And I'm not blaming you, black man. It's a war on us. But what I'm telling you, stop making the black woman the scapegoat for the white man. And if you feel...
Who the fuck is making the black woman the scapegoat? Like, who's making the black woman the scapegoat? Really? Because to my knowledge, again, you know what I'm saying? This is talking about, you know, the Kevin Samuels situation. All this niggas doing is trying to get chicks to be accountable for shit. Accountable for their thoughts. So if you're gonna speak against a man that preaches accountability, like I said, bro, you ain't shit for that. And if you're going on this long ass, dumb ass rant behind that, like, man, you ain't good for the people at all. Not even a little bit. Like, you're a fucking cancer. You know what I'm saying? A product of what the white man and the oppression and all of that. You were part of it.
You have to make the black woman the scapegoat for the white man. Then why don't you just be honest and say, listen, I'm scared of my oppressor. I'm scared of the white man. I don't want to challenge him. I don't want to fight him. I'm scared of my oppressor, so I'm just going to blame my system. I'm scared of the white man, so I'm just going to blame the black man. That's what you really, that's the truth. Tell the truth. You're scared of the white man, so you just want to blame the black man. Can we tell the truth? Can we tell the truth? Because that's all you beta males are doing, trying to make the black woman the scapegoat for what the white man has done to you. The black woman does not control the school system. The black woman does not control the criminal justice system. The black woman does not control the legal system. She does not control the economy. Just tell the truth.
But what she can control is her fucking self and what she does and what she thinks. And that's what the bottom line of the situation is, why Umar's all upset. You know, because, I mean, if the empowerment can only come through you, you know what I'm saying? If the enlightenment about life can only come through you, like, you should have a problem with that. That's a huge problem. If a motherfucker don't want people to go to different sources for information, man, and for guidance and for help, that's a fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? That person's voice and that person's whatever should be just cut the fuck off. You can't take them serious no more.
You have been mentored by beta males who have made the black woman the scapegoat for what the white man has done to you because you are afraid to challenge your oppressor. That's why when the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy is open, there will be code of conduct on this campus. There will be a code of conduct at the Frederick Douglass High School. There will be a code of conduct at the Marcus Garvey Elementary School. There will be a code of conduct at the Nat Turner and Jean-Jacques Dessalines Gymnasium. Black power. Yes, sir. Shout out to Wilmington, Delaware for standing by the prince. And black women, I want all my black women to know something right now. I am not condoning your bullshit. My beautiful African queens, I'm talking to you right now. I'm not condoning your bullshit. Because some black women are on some bullshit. Some of you play keep away with the kids. Some of you take good men and child support who was already taking care of their kids. Some of you will bring good brothers into your life and you use them as an emotional crutch just to get your baby daddy or ex-husband to pay attention to you. I am not condoning the bullshit of black women. I am not saying that the black woman does not have faults, because the black woman has faults just like the black man has faults. But I am concerned about the example that black men are sending to young black boys right now in this.
See, and here he go with that shit. Okay, so now you're going to sit here and say that you're not condoning this, you're not condoning that. But the motherfucker you attacking is making sure that the bullshit that you're speaking of is being addressed. Like, I mean, how, like, I mean, it's one of the ones to where that crab in the barrel shit. You know what I'm saying? Instead of building upon one another, you know what I'm saying? You doing exactly what niggas doing, break the shit down. That nigga shit. That's what you doing. That's what you're on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you can't get no more clear cut than that. You can't get no more clear cut. Like you're upset, and I mean, I don't like this term, but I mean, it is what it is in this situation. But I mean, like that hater shit. Like when you hate, when you have that dislike and all of this shit for no other reason than the fact that it dips into what you got. You know what I'm saying? It's taking something, pulling something away from you. You know, or you know, it's like there's no foundation on why you don't like something, why this, why that. I mean, that's what he's on right now. You know, so it took him almost 26 minutes of talking for him to say, I don't condone your bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It took him that fucking long to say that he doesn't agree, you know what I'm saying, with some of the stuff that goes on, you know what I'm saying, in certain people's minds and households and stuff. But you're attacking people, or at least a person, again, like I said, I don't know the other 11, you know what I'm saying, but you're attacking somebody who is trying to address the bullshit and break people free from the bullshit and make sure that somebody like me can see through the bullshit when it's presented to me. You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga wants me to suffer through some shit. Because he don't want me to see the expose of people, you know, people's minds being extremely fucked up in the game. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I ain't even got to waste my time with it. But nah, he wants me to waste my time and my energy. He wants you to waste your time and your energy, period. It took you that long to say that shit, bro? Fuck out of here.
I am concerned about the message that black men are sending to young black boys in this country when a 16-year-old girl gets 4 shots to her heart. When a 16-year-old girl gets 4 shots to her heart in Columbus, Ohio, and a whole bunch of weak-ass, no backbone having beta males will get on the internet and defend a white policeman. Will defend a white policeman who shot.
See, here you go. Here you go with some more trigger shit. You know what I'm saying? Here you go with some more emotional, heartstring trigger shit. Like, really, what the fuck does this have to do with the 12 YouTubians? Again, if it does have something to do with them, call them niggas out by fucking name, Umar. Call them out by name. You understand? Reference a point where this nigga said some shit like that. That's how you gain clarity. But as it stands, you're not going to get no fucking clarity from this nigga Umar. All you going to get is a fucking circle spin with glitter attached to the shit, all in the air, and you got to grab at this, grab at that to try to make shit make sense. But the only way that you can make it make sense is if you take hold of that conditioning that you've been used to. So yeah, it shit makes perfect sense whenever you stay within the condition shit. But when you step outside that box, man, this nigga's, he ain't like full of shit.
Bullets into the stomach of a 16-year-old black girl. I cannot condone that. No damn beta males. All these young brothers out here claiming to be masculine. All these young brothers out here claiming to be masculine, and all you doing is attacking women. I'm seeing entire threads on social network of black men talking about everything wrong with black women. That's not how we act, brother. White people are watching this shit. White people are watching this. They are watching you attack your sister on a public platform. Do you really think if a black cop put 4 bullets in a 16-year-old white girl holding a knife, do you think any white man would be defending a black cop? Let me ask you again. If a black cop put 6 bullets in a
Yeah, I think we done here. I think we done here finally. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate those that made it through with me. But I mean, just the bottom line to it all, man, you see, you know, that Umar is I mean, he's a part of the motherfucking problem. You know what I'm saying? A major source of the problem that we have and why we can't get anywhere because, I mean, shit, he's placed here to block us. Understand? He's placed here to make sure that you stay inside of a box, you know, and if you try to get out of that box, you know, you see what he's going to pull. You see what he's going to pull. I'm saying he don't want you to get better. Not without him. And then if you get better with him, like shit, like I said, you stuck in the same fucking box. So, I mean, it's the same cycle. So, yeah, man, if you got something to say about somebody, man, like call them out by name or at least reference what the fuck you talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's what the fuck an alpha male does in my book, in my opinion. What an alpha male is in my opinion, my book. You know what I'm saying? If you got something to say to somebody, you say it with your fucking chest. You know, especially when it's something as deep as what he's talking about. You understand? Because abuse, that shit is fucked up. And there's many forms of it. You know, and a lot of healing from that abuse is understanding where it comes from and what it is. And best believe he's not going to tell you that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because his brain ain't wired that way because he'll expose himself if he tells you exactly what it is that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, this nigga, I mean, shit. Clear as fuck, the narcissistic traits is rampant through his whole shit. You know, and if this is what he responds with when it comes to, you know, this is what he responds with when it comes to the accountability of people, you know, females in particular, in this particular situation. You know, it's about certain female mind states. You know, anybody who has a problem with that part of it, I mean, shit, you ain't no good. So yeah, as always, it is what it is, man. Umar, man, I done been on you before, bro. And as it stands and as it goes, man, you full of shit, man, and your bullshit is